All right, let's talk. If your business even touches patient information, you need to listen up. We're going to dive into HIPAA compliance, and I promise this isn't about boring paperwork. We're talking about a strategy, a crucial one for survival and growth. And believe me, the stakes are, well, they're incredibly high.
So let's just start with a number, 50 million. Just think about that. In the last year alone, that's how many people had their private health info exposed in data breaches. It's a staggering number, right? It just goes to show you how vulnerable this stuff really is.
And okay, so a breach happens. What's the damage? Well, here's another number for you. $10 million. And get this, that's the average cost for one single breach. Now, for an SMB like yours, a hit like that, it's not just devastating. For most, it's lights out, game over.
So you really have to ask yourself, and be honest, if you got slapped with a multi-million-dollar fine, and on top of that, you lost every ounce of your patient's trust, could your business survive? I mean, really survive? It's a tough thought for sure, and that's exactly why we need to talk about this.
Okay, so let's get right down to it. What are we really talking about here? This isn't some bureaucratic headache or a checklist you can just power through. No, this is about risk. This is about the fundamental survival of your business, period.
You want to see how real it gets? $3.5 million. That's not a number I just made up. That's a real fine paid by a real organization, the University Medical Center. This isn't some what-if scenario. This stuff actually happens. But here's the kicker. The reason they got hit with that massive fine, it wasn't some super sophisticated hack from a spy movie. Nope, it was because of something completely, 100% preventable, not having good enough security measures in place. And that's the key thing to remember here. Most of these disasters, they just don't need to happen.
Okay, so hearing all that, I bet the big question flashing in your mind right now is, does this actually apply to me, to my business? Well, let's figure that out right now. It all comes down to two key roles defined by HIPAA.
You know, it's actually pretty straightforward. There are two main groups. First, you've got your covered entities. Think clinics, hospitals, insurance companies, the folks on the front lines providing care. Then, you've got business associates. These are all the vendors and partners who help them out, like your IT company, a billing service, you name it. If you fall into either of those buckets, yep, HIPAA applies to you. You're on the hook.
So what is this stuff you're supposed to be protecting? It's all about something called PHI, that's Protected Health Information. Basically, it's any bit of patient data that can be tied back to a specific person. It doesn't matter if you're creating it, storing it, or just passing it along. If you touch PHI at all, then compliance isn't a choice. It is absolutely non-negotiable.
All right, so you've figured out, yep, this is me. The next logical question is, now what? And here's the good news. Getting compliant isn't some big, scary mystery. It's a process. Think of it like a roadmap. Let's walk through the 5 key steps together.
So here it is, your path forward. Step 1 is assessing your status. And hey, we pretty much just did that. Now, the really critical next step, a thorough risk assessment. You have to know where your weak spots are. After that, you develop clear written policies. This is your playbook, right? But a playbook doesn't do any good sitting on a shelf. You have to train your staff. Your team is your absolute first line of defense. And finally, you put the safeguards in place. We're talking technical stuff, physical stuff, basically all the locks for your digital and real-world doors. I want to pause on step 2 for just a second, that risk assessment, because this is where so many companies trip up. Get this, an estimated 40% of organizations just don't do it right, or at all. Just let that sink in. It's the most basic, foundational step, and almost half of businesses are messing it up. That's a huge problem. Okay, so we've talked about the big picture, the main steps. Now let's get super practical. Let's drill down to an action-ready checklist, something you can literally start using to guide you, like today.
Here you go. This is your game plan, all in one spot. It really just boils down to a few core things you do over and over. Always be assessing your risk, have clear policies, train your people constantly, and put the right tech safeguards in place. Do that, and you're building the pillars of a secure, compliant business. But look, a checklist is just a piece of paper, right? It's just a tool. For a final thought here, let's zoom out a bit. Let's look past the to-do list. Because if you're just looking at HIPAA as a chore, you're missing the whole point.
The real payoff here, it's so much bigger than just dodging a fine.
At the end of the day, it really boils down to this. Staying compliant, yeah, it protects you from financial ruin. But what it really does is build trust. And in healthcare, trust isn't just a bonus, it's everything. It's the absolute foundation of your entire relationship with your patients. You can't put a price tag on that.
So, I'm going to leave you with a question to think about. How do you see your patient data right now? Is it a liability, a ticking time bomb just waiting to go off? Or do you see it for what it truly is, your single most valuable asset? An asset that when you protect it, builds the kind of trust that makes a business last. The choice really is up to you.